There's a name you already said in your head, and you said it before you finished reading the question. Nobody checks it. So I built 7 lenses out of numbers anyone can pull up, and 4 of these 5 men put their name on at least one. Does the fast answer hold? 5 names: Curry, who has made more threes than any player in NBA history; Klay Thompson, who once made 14 in a single game and nobody has matched it; Ray Allen, 2,973 threes across 18 seasons; Larry Bird, who shot 37.6% in a league that shot 28.7%; and Kevin Durant, who owns 2 of the 14 50-40-90 seasons ever recorded. Shooting is the skill everyone believes they can judge by eye, and it is the one where the eye is worst. So nothing subjective goes in. 7 lenses, each weighted the same, each one a figure you could check yourself in a minute. Where a definition was close, I show the working on screen. 7 lenses weighted equally: volume, accuracy, era adjusted accuracy, shot creation, the free throw, sustained elite seasons, and playoff resilience. Lens 1 is the simplest question in the video: how many actually went in? Curry has 4,248, which is the most any player has made in NBA history. Ray Allen has 2,973. Klay has 2,899. Durant has 2,377. Bird has 649, which is fewer than Curry made in 2 seasons. A career total reward showing up, so divide it by games. Curry has played 1,069 and makes 3.97 a night. Klay makes 3.10. Ray Allen, who played 1,300 games, the most of anyone here, makes 2.29. Durant, 1.98. Bird, 0.72. The gap between first and second is 0.87 threes a game, every game, for 17 years. And then there is one season that sits above the whole sport. In 2015 to 2016, Curry made 402 threes. The second highest total anyone has ever posted is 378 by James Harden in 2018 to 2019. The record Curry broke to get there was his own 286 set the previous year. 10 seasons have gone by, and nobody has been closer than 24 makes. Look at the whole line, because the volume is not the strange part. He took 886 threes and made 45.4% of them. He shot 50.4 from the field and 90.8 from the line, which makes 2015 to 2016 a 50-40-90 season, and a record-breaking one in the same year. Only 9 players in league history have ever put together a 50-40-90 season at all. So the first lens is not really a debate. Curry leads the field in career makes, in makes per game, and he owns the single-season record with a margin of 24 over the next man. The only thing that can argue with a total that size is the question of how hard each shot was. Lens 1 goes to Curry. Lens 2 is the rate. Curry is at 42.2% for his career on 10,073 attempts. Klay is at 40.9 on 7,090. Ray Allen finished at 40.0 exactly on 7,429. Durant is at 39.2 and Bird at 37.6. The whole field fits inside 4.6 percentage points, and every one of them beats the league average of the season that just ended, which was 36.0. That is the first sign that the raw percentage is not going to settle this. And this is where the obvious answer gets its first real problem. On the all-time career 3-point percentage list, Curry is 14th, not first. The leader of that table is Steve Kerr at 45.4%. The reason is the qualifier: you need 250 career makes to appear, and 250 is a bar a specialist clears in 3 seasons of standing in the corner. But narrow the list to players who actually shot a career's worth. 19 men have made 2,000 threes. Of those 19, exactly 1 shoots a higher percentage than Curry. And the name on screen is a career specialist who finished 1,798 makes behind him at 42.9%. Raise the bar to 2,500 makes, and Curry is first outright. So the honest version of Lens 2 is this: Curry is not the most accurate 3-point shooter who ever lived if you read that table straight. He is 14th, and the 13 names above him took a fraction of the shots he did. Narrow it to the 19 men who have made 2,000 career threes and only 1 shoots better. Inside this field of 5, the nearest man is 1.3 points back. Lens 2 goes to Curry. Lens 3 decides whether any of this is comparable at all. Plot the league's 3-point percentage by season. It climbs hard through the 80s and early 90s, from 28.0% up into the mid-30s, and then it flattens. The league shortened the line for 3 seasons in the mid-90s before moving it back. Every season since it moved back has landed between 33.9 and 36.7%. A band 2.8 points wide for 29 years. What changed was how often, not how well. In Bird's rookie year, the entire league attempted 2.8 threes per game. Last season, it attempted 37.0. The shot went up 13 times over, while the percentage moved 8 points and then sat still for 29 years. A percentage from 1985 and a percentage from 2025 are not the same achievement. So take each man's career percentage and subtract the average of the seasons he actually played. Bird comes out at plus 8.9 points, the largest edge on the board. Curry is plus 6.4, Klay plus 5.1, Ray Allen plus 4.6, Durant plus 3.3 because he shot in the friendliest environment of the five. The man with 649 career threes has the biggest gap over his own league. Put them side by side and the split is clean. Curry shoots the better raw percentage, 42.2 to 37.6. Bird shot his in a league at 28.7% against Curry's league at 35.8, so the adjusted gap flips to Bird by 2.5 points, and the column that explains both, 1 in 10 of Bird's career shots was a 3. For Curry, it is more than 1 in 2. There is one more piece of evidence for Bird and one against him, and they sit right next to each other. The league invented the three-point contest in 1986. Bird won it that year, the next year, and the year after that, 3 straight. He also never once led the NBA in three-point percentage. His best season was 42.7% in 1984 to 1985, and Byron Scott shot 43.3 that year. Bird owned the exhibition and never owned the table. Now the part that has to be said out loud, because the adjustment cuts both ways. A league shooting 28.7% was not a league of worse shooters. It was a league that barely used the shot, so a large share of the threes it did take were end-of-clock heaves by players whose job was not shooting. That drags the average down and inflates everyone's gap, Bird included. It is still the honest number I have, and it is still the biggest one here. Lens 3 goes to Bird. Lens 4 asks who made the shot possible, and it comes with a wall. The first season for which the league has a record of whether a made basket was assisted is 1996 to 1997. Bird retired in 1992. There is no version of this number for him, and I'm not going to estimate one. He has scored over 6 lenses instead of 7, and the board will say so. The cleanest test available runs itself. In 2016 to 2017, 3 of these 5 men played on the same roster, in the same offense, in the same season. Of Curry's 324 threes that year, 63.9% came off a pass. Durant, 80.3%. Klay, 95.5%. Same coach, same spacing, same system, and the numbers are nowhere near each other. Flip it to the share nobody handed him. Curry created 36.1% of his own threes. Ray Allen, in his highest volume season in Seattle, created 24.9. Durant, 19.7. Klay, 4.5. That is a difference in job description as much as skill, and it is exactly what this lens exists to catch. 19 out of every 20 of Klay's threes were somebody else's pass. That comparison deserves a fair test, because Klay never had to be the first option, and Ray Allen did. So take Allen's biggest volume season, 2005 to 2006, when he made 269 threes as the man the defense was built to stop. He created 24.9% of them himself. It is a real number, and it is still 11.2 points below what Curry did in a season he spent sharing a floor with Durant and Klay. And it holds in the year before. In 2015 to 2016, the 402 season, Curry built 45.3% of his own threes, and Klay built 8.0% of his. 2 seasons, one of them with Durant added to the roster, and the distance between them barely moves. Note the last row. Klay shot the better percentage both years. This is the lens where the argument actually splits. Making a catch-and-shoot 3 at 40% is one of the hardest things in sport. Making one you generated yourself, off the dribble, with a defender already turned, is a harder one. Curry does the second one 8 times more often than Klay does. Bird gets no score here because the data does not exist. Lens 4 goes to Curry. Lens 5 strips out everything except the stroke. No defender, no clock, no help. The same distance every single time, in every era, for every player on this list. Curry is at 91.2%, Ray Allen 89.4%, Bird 88.6%, Durant 88.2%, Klay 85.8%. 4 of these 5 rank inside the all-time top 16, and Klay is the one who does not. And on this one, there is no qualifier argument to have. Curry's 91.2% is the best career free throw percentage in NBA history, 4,000 to 236, made out of 4,000 to 645 attempts, against a bar of 1,200 makes to even appear on the list. Steve Nash is second at 90.4, Mark Price is third. The same man leads the volume table and the purity table. Klay is the counterexample, and it is a useful one. He sits 60th all-time at 85.8%, 5.4 points behind Curry on the one shot that has no defender in it. The best catch and shoot stroke in this field is not the best stroke in this field standing still at the line. Those two skills are less related than the eye assumes. The free throw is the only shooting number in this entire video that needs no adjustment of any kind. 15 feet, no hand in the face, identical in 1980 and identical last season. On that shot, Curry has the best career mark anyone has ever recorded, and second place is 0.8 points behind him. Lens 5 goes to Curry. Lens 6 asks how long it lasted, because a career percentage can hide a short peak inside a long average tail. Count the seasons at 40% or better on at least 200 attempts. Curry has 12, Klay has 9, Ray Allen 8, Durant 7, Bird has 2, and that is not a shooting problem, it is a volume 1. Bird's case takes the damage here, and it is worth showing why. He had 6 seasons at 40% or better from 3. 4 of them came on fewer than 200 attempts, one of them on 128. Across 13 years, he attempted 1,727 threes in total. Curry has attempted 10,073. The small sample that made Bird's era gap look enormous is the same small sample that drops him to last here, and both results are true. Now demand 200 threes made, not attempted, in a 40% season. Curry has 10 of those, Klay has 8, Ray Allen has 3, and he missed a fourth by a single make. 199 at 40.9% in 2008 to 2009. Durant has none. Bird has none, and his best season total was 98. 2 men in this field have ever done it more than 3 times. The reason this lens matters is that it is the one thing a hot 4-year run cannot fake. Curry has been at 40% on real volume in 12 separate seasons, and at 40% on 200 made threes in 10 of them. Klay has 8 of those, Ray Allen has 3, and the other 2 men have none at all. Lens 6 goes to Curry, which brings us to the postseason. Curry has made 650 playoff threes, the most in league history, and Klay is second with 501. Inside this 5, Ray Allen has 385, Durant 367, Bird 80, though LeBron and Harden both sit between Klay and Allen on the full board. Those totals mostly measure how many playoff games a man got to play, and Lens 1 already paid Curry for volume. So this lens is narrower. It asks whether the shot itself changed, and for 4 of these 5 it did. And before the narrow question, the number that argues loudest for the wide one. Curry has made 152 threes in the NBA Finals, more than anyone in the history of the round. Klay is second at 106. I am deliberately not scoring that here because it is a volume achievement, and Lens 1 has already been paid. Lens 7 is only about whether the percentage holds. Not how many, but whether the shot is the same shot. Ray Allen shot 40.0% in the regular season and 40.1% in the playoffs on 959 postseason attempts. Klay went 40.9 to 40.5. Curry went 42.2 to 39.7 on the largest postseason sample any of them has, 1,637 attempts. He is still the 3rd best playoff shooter on this card, and of the 3 men here, he gave back the most. Put all 5 on one chart. Bird falls from 37.6 to 32.1 on only 249 postseason attempts. Durant falls from 39.2 to 35.5. Curry falls from 42.2 to 39.7. Klay drops 0.4 from 40.9 to 40.5. Ray Allen goes from 40.0 to 40.1, and his is the only line on the board that does not fall. And it keeps going the right way as the stage gets bigger. Across his finals appearances, Ray Allen made 55 threes on 127 attempts. That is 43.3%, better than his own 40.0 career mark by 3.3 points. So this one does not resolve, and pretending it does would be the dishonest move. Ray Allen is the only man of the 5 whose percentage does not fall, but Klay shoots the higher playoff percentage of the 2, 40.5 against 40.1, and the retention gap between them is half a point across about 1,000 attempts each, which is well inside what a coin flip produces. Lens 7 goes to Ray Allen and Klay together, as a split. If I had defined it as playoff shooting in general, it would have gone to the volume instead, and I say that on screen rather than hiding it. Before the verdict, one picture. 7 players in league history have made 2,500 threes. Plot all 7 by makes and by career percentage, and add the one man just under the line at 2,450 who shoots better than any of them. 6 of the 8 dots sit between 34.8 and 40.9%. Curry sits alone on the right at 42.2, 858 makes clear of the next one. So the 7 lenses produce 2 cases. One man leads the field in career makes, in makes per game, in career percentage, in self-created threes, in free throws, and in elite seasons. Against that, the biggest edge over the league a man actually played in, and a shared verdict on the only percentage in the group that survives the postseason. The verdict is 1 beat away. The formula crowns Curry at 9.3 out of 10. He takes 5 of the 7, Bird takes era-adjusted accuracy, and Ray Allen and Klay split playoff resilience. And it is not close. Second place is 1.4 points back, and it is not the name most people would guess. The mechanism is simple, and it is why the answer is boring. Every other great shooter trades one thing for the other. Take a huge number of threes, and the percentage comes down. Protect the percentage, and the volume stays small. Of the 7 men who have made 2,500 threes, Curry has both the most and the best rate, and the only man in history shooting a better percentage on 2,000, makes finished 1,798 behind him. 3 things this board is not saying. It is not saying Bird would have shot 42% on 10,000 attempts in a modern offense, because he has scored over 6 lenses and nobody knows. It is not saying Klay could not create, only that he was never asked to. And the era adjustment is doing real work for a league that barely used the shot. None of it moves the top. If you want the Crown Series to settle one of these with the receipts every week, subscribe. Lens by lens, volume Curry, accuracy Curry, era adjusted accuracy Bird, shot creation Curry, the free throw Curry, sustained elite seasons Curry, playoff resilience, shared between Ray Allen and Klay, 5, 1, and 1 split, with Durant taking nothing at all. The full board, each lens scored out of 10 on the field spread and then averaged. Curry 9.3, first on 5 of the 7. Ray Allen 7.9, second, without leading a single lens outright. He is second in free throw percentage, second in self-created threes, and he shares the retention lens. Klay 7.3, Durant 6.9, the only man here with no lens at all. Bird 6.0 across 6 lenses, first on the one that adjusts for his era, and last on 4 of the other 5. The ending is that the famous answer is right, and the usual reason for it is wrong. It is not the percentage. On the raw percentage table, Curry is 14th, and one man with 2,000 shoots better than he does. It is that among the 7 players who have made 2,500 threes, he has the most and the best rate at the same time, and then shoots 91.2 from the line on top of it. Bird finishes last of 5 and still wins the lens that adjusts for his era. Tell me which of the 7 you would weight heaviest, and name the shooter you want graded next. Like and subscribe, and the Crown Series settles another one of these next week.